I'm live. Oh my goodness. This is my first YouTube live, and I wanted to start to post some of these YouTube live on the channel. So for those of you who are subscribing or end up finding this are able to log in and ask some questions, and let's use this platform, which I'm really not familiar with as a public speaker. I'm used to being on stage and not necessarily here on YouTube. So this is new for me. So how exciting. So I'm experimenting. And that whole topic, experimenting, is actually the topic of my discussion today. Is I had a client who was saying to me, you know, he's having trouble with the changes that are taking place because of the pandemic and the lockdown, and it's requiring a lot of change, and this change is not welcome and it's not easy. And you know, my thought around that, to help some of you that might be experiencing this same thing, is it's a mindset shift. When we think about change and we think that it's hard and that it's not welcomed and we don't want it, there's another way to look at it. What if we could look at it as though it's an experiment of a new way of doing things? What I like with that kind of mindset shift is, okay, we're going to change the way we do things. Let's see this as an experiment. And with this experiment and that whole experimentation mindset, what it does for me is it helps me to think of things in a different way. I'm noticing that maybe my audio is not as good as it could be here. Let's see how we can improve that. So sorry to cut that in half. So experimentation, how does experimentation get us to think in a different way? Well, how it gets us to think in a different way is that now I'm thinking, well, I'm going to try this for a little while, and I'm going to check in on my results, because isn't that what you do when you're a scientist and you put on your white coat and you see it from a perspective of, hey, let's see what works and what doesn't work. And often along the process is you don't get upset when it doesn't work because you're experimenting. So what that means is that when you get a result and it's not the result that you wanted or you liked, you get to pivot a little bit and look at the details and see how you can shift it a little bit. And with that experimentation and making constant shifts, you're going to find what's working and what's not working. Another thing that I love about the whole idea of experimentation is it's documented. We have to document what works and what doesn't work. And that's something that we fail to do often. So we throw the baby with the bathwater, so to speak, out, whereas we say, well, that didn't work. Well, what about that specifically didn't work? And what we find is often it's not all 4 points or 4 things that we did that didn't work. Maybe it's just one of those 4 things. That gives us more specificity. I have to say that slowly so it comes out right. That being specific helps us to narrow down exactly where the problem is. And that makes it solvable because we have the specifics. So we need to be really clear with that we're going to be able to document it, right? We have that mindset of openness. Now we're documenting what's working and what's not working. And then we're making adjustments each time we recognize what's working and what's not working. And we give it a period of time to study it and to analyze it. So as we're documenting it, we're seeing, okay, let's see how this works for a week, right? It's not like you're just going to do it for a very small time, like if you're putting into practice a new habit. So you're not going to do it once and then assess from there whether it works or it doesn't work. You're going to do it for a week, and then you're going to see what's working and what's not working. How do you feel? What's the response? What could you do differently to make it that much more effective? And then you can put some tweaks involved in the way that you implement it, and then you can document and track that. So what if we're just shifting a little bit of our mindset from, ooh, that's hard and that's a change, to let's experiment with how this could work? That's my challenge to you this week, is what do you have that feels heavy and hard and difficult? And how could you put a more playful spin on it or reframe it in a way to make it an experiment and see how much different you are going to approach it when you come at it from that mindset. So that's today's time management tip, resiliency tip, and pandemic tip. So I'm going to, from time to time, I'm going to jump on and I'm going to look to do some of these live chats, maybe live Q&As as I get more people who recognize that I'm doing these. Maybe I'll set a regular time and just to keep you on track with what's going on for you and help you to be and bring out your best self despite the circumstances. So thank you so much for listening. If you just stumbled upon this and you haven't yet subscribed, well, I'm building my channel. This is a new thing. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can get updated on other times when I am going live. And please do share it. If there's somebody in your family or in your organization that you think could benefit from some great productivity tips from the Take Back Time series that's posted, that's my podcast, the videos that are posted, or any of the other short tips that I provide, I would love to be a resource for you. So go ahead and subscribe and share this information. I'll see you again soon.